Hello, this is Chef Moss, and welcome to Leadership 101. Today, it's all about college hunks hauling junk and moving. I'm hoping through this video, first of all, I'm going to introduce you to a great hunk, Marcus Givens. Marcus has a great story all around building leaders. We want to talk about how he came to join College Hunks. We want to educate folks about the opportunities that exist within the College Hunks franchise system. And with that said, let's just go, Marcus. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you came to work with me in Wilmington, North Carolina. Let's just start there early on.
All started, I was in college, came back home because I didn't like the university I was at. Ended up going to the community college, Cape Fear. I was working at few moves, went over to 2 men in a truck after that, but just management style and then being on the truck, you have a different mentality on the truck. And then I just happened to find myself at College Hunks with, a young man with a whole bunch of attitude, just being honest. And then everything just changed. Everything changed.
Well, let's talk about that, because I think so. A lot of people are just looking for a job, and we hire a lot of part-time folks. We've got folks that are doing 40 plus hours a week, full-time attitude. But honestly, Marcus, I saw something in you really quick and really early on. And I remember telling two of my managers that this young man has a future. This is somebody I want to pour energy into, which I'll be straight with you, man. We pour energy into everybody, but some people, will glom onto the opportunities that others give them. And some folks just aren't ready for it yet. When you first came, were you anticipating that one day you were going to be in a management role within our system? What was your initial attitude? You said I was a young man with an attitude.
Good question. Attitude, most definitely. I'll thank you, Stephen Gordy, just from the beginning for investing in me. Originally coming on, mindset was I need to make as much money as possible. I just had my first son, expecting number 2 in November. Excited about that as well. Had to put it out there. But Aizen was born. I needed money. I needed something different, and just always being on the trucks, working at other companies. It was me against the world. No one was looking out for me. No one was going to take care of me. Everything I had to do it on my own. And then came to College Hunks, and you guys invested in me for sure. Like, I've never had somebody give me this kind of opportunity ever. So to just know that I was getting love and seeing something different, how could I not love the brand and love you guys back? So it was fantastic.
Well, first of all, let me be clear. There are nearly 200 College Hunks franchises across America now, and this isn't.
We got Canada too.
Yeah, and that's true. So we're actually international. This is not unique to Wilmington, North Carolina, or to Griffin, Georgia, or to Orlando, Florida. Across the board, College Hunks franchise owners vest in the core values. The one I've always admitted I'm most excited about is called building leaders, and you're an example of that. I'm a proud Papa Hunk, man. You get me. Everybody knows me. It doesn't take much to get me emotional when I start talking about my folks. But create a fun, enthusiastic team environment. Listen, fulfill, and delight. Always branding, building leaders. Was it shocking to you when you came to work here to find out that those weren't just words on paper, that we really actually mean it?
Yes, sir. Definitely. I'll use a guy I had an interview with yesterday. He starts on Monday. He is coming from a different moving company and not really enjoying the culture there and the style that he had. But I was breaking down our core values, how we pay attention to everything. We're a performance-based company, and we sleep, eat, and breathe the core values. That's how you secure change and better yourself. And then as I was explaining, just as an example, always branding to them, I was like, man, when you represent the brand, you have to stay on your best behavior, look out for others. The best way to put it, we live in one big universe, but realistically, everybody, their world revolves around them. So how can you make your world coexist with someone else's, where there's peace and harmony? And then that's how you always represent the brand, whether you're at work, outside of work, it doesn't matter. I mean, take care of others, they'll take care of you. And then just explaining more of the culture to him, he was like, I want to work here. When can I start? You can start on Monday, buddy.
That's awesome. So when Marcus first came to work in Wilmington, he admitted it. New father, needed to make money. Marcus had an hourly attitude, and I'll never forget down. And when I say hourly attitude, Marcus was about how much are you paying me per hour? How much am I going to make? And when I started transitioning you from the mindset of a wingman to senior truck captain and telling you it's, being an hourly worker is fine, but man, what you really want to do is work your way into management. You really want to pursue opportunities where you're what we call an exempt employee, where you're on salary. So you're going to get paid every 2 weeks, and you can actually budget off that. You can actually plan around that. You enter into a bonus structure. I think a lot of young men like you at that point in their life don't realize that there is something else besides punching a clock and working hourly. What really, I guess, how did I finally get that point across to you so that you were, ready and eager to become a move consultant and come in off the truck and start working your way up into management?
Hmm.
Have you even thought about it?
I can't say I really have. I would say the biggest thing that really helped my transition and just the overall thought process of hourly to salary was really my mom and dad. Like, I have two completely different people, two completely different processes. My dad is all about hourly. Oh, I'll punch this clock once I get OT on time and a half. Whereas my mom is salaried and she understands the bigger picture of it. So, I mean, I always talk to my dad, get advice from him and everything like that. But then with the transition, I was definitely struggling with it. Like, oh man, like if, no matter how much time I put in, it's going to be this right here. But the more time I spent just talking to my mom, understanding the bigger picture and things like that, I mean, really, when she said to me, Marcus, you're going to have feast and famine days. That's what a lot of people don't understand, especially on hourly. You're going to have 1 week where you do get OT and you make, because you do have your 50 hours. You have that time and a half, and yes, your check's absolutely fantastic. But Marcus, don't be silly either. Think about the pandemic and how many hours were you getting? Like 10, 12? She was like, exactly. My check never changed, sweetie. She was like, you never know what you're going to get. But I mean, if your salary, you're guaranteed for that which you need in order to survive. And then you're also guaranteed more opportunity in the future. Businesses don't put people in a salary position unless, I mean, they expect more for them later on. So, I mean, how much do you believe in yourself? And do you think you can go to the next level after that? And I pondered on it for weeks and
You
weeks.
did. And you know what? You came around. I didn't realize that. I knew you were talking to your dad, but I didn't recall that your mom had helped in the process as well. But you essentially came in as a wingman. We pretty much moved you to truck captain and senior truck captain pretty quick. You're out leading crews, managing jobs. You then moved inside and became an exempt employee, a salaried employee with commission as a move consultant. So the guy that goes out and bids jobs. And then suddenly this blip on the radar happens, and you came to me and said, I need to move to Florida. Can you help me? Can you help me transition down there to another College Hunks? Let's talk about that.
That's where I gotta think. Once again, thank you, Gordy and Steve. I mean, spending time with you guys, seeing how hard you work, seeing the time that you put in. I mean, expanding and I mean, and like broadening my horizon, making a bigger picture. I started going home. Girlfriend at the time, now my wife. I mean, high school sweetheart. She was working at Subway, and you guys had me motivated. And I was like, babe, we can do this, and we can do this. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You got to take chances. I mean, ultimately, we can reset, we can restart, we can do whatever we want, whenever we want to. And it's just up to us. And she was like, well, how do you feel about moving to Florida? What I was saying was something totally different, babe. But no. So she explained to me that she had family here. She had her degree in biology. She wanted to do more. And I mean, we wanted to, have more opportunities. So I was like, babe, well, I said it. I got to stay firm on my word. I was like, apply for the job. She was like, well, what are we going to do if I get the job? I was like, we'll figure it out. I mean, And so she ended up getting the job. And as you see, we figured it out. And now I'm here. October will make 2 years, been at the Fort Myers franchise under Casper and Jess. And I mean, it's been absolutely fantastic. I couldn't ask for more.
And your general manager there is Mario, right? So,
yes, sir.
So what happens? Marcus comes to me. He's made this decision to move to Florida. I knew immediately we had a College Hunks location there. In fact, I'm good friends with the owner of that location, Casper, and I knew he needed an ops manager, which is another step up from move consultant. And I think this is so important for people to understand. I never stand up for people I don't believe in, because once you do that, people start questioning. So I'll give you an example. Back in the day when I was a manager at Pfizer, I had a rep that every time a position opened up, he just started firing resumes, because he wanted to get the referral bonus, right? And I had to sit him down and I'm like, what do you know about these people you're referring? Oh, nothing. Well, then you're going to base your reputation. So now you're going to get somebody in front of somebody to interview that you know nothing of and soil your reputation for referring people because they're not quality people. So I've learned through my life that if you're going to, first of all, hook your caboose to an engine, it needs to be a strong engine reputationally so that people respect. So where are you coming from and who mentored you? Who helps you grow, because they think you're a product of that individual. So that's just the first takeaway. Always work for strong, respected leaders that people, will take their word when they say, hey, you can trust me, this guy's ready to go. So I use the phrase fully baked. And I remember calling Casper and I said, Marcus is growing. He's not really what I define as fully baked, but he's been in the oven, man. And he's probably 80% there, and you can finish that 20%. But Marcus is ready to be an ops manager. Will you give him a look? And of course, Casper said, absolutely, send him down. Well, now the rest of the story. What's your role right now, Marcus?
I am director of operations.
And where in Florida? What's the location?
Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay, so for everybody that missed it, came in, a lot of attitude, started as a wingman, went to senior truck captain. We saw his skills and talents and the capacity to grow that Marcus had. Next thing you know, he's a move consultant. He then becomes director of operations for a thriving location in Florida. Anybody within our system can grow within our system. You can grow within the location, or you can grow outside the location, as long as you're working for a leader who's willing to let you fly. And that's something, I'm saying that for the benefit of all of my franchise partners within the system, frankly, all business owners. You grow people to help them fly. It's like growing a child out of the nest at home. One of these days, your two children are going to need to fly. So, the responsibility of a parent, right, is to grow them and prepare them and then put them out there so that they can go forth and do great things. I see it no different in my responsibilities as someone that has chosen to take on the gauntlet of ownership of a franchise business or any business, to grow people, help them develop, and then sit back and in awe, revel in what they're doing. And Marcus, I revel in what you have done. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. I'll say I'm still in the oven. I'll say I'm all at 60% right now. The only thing that really helps me out, it's my team. I got Mario here, fantastic GM, fantastic leader for the franchise. Directly below me, we have Andrew Perry. He's our ops manager, quick as a whip. I'd be bold enough to say he's out the oven. He's ready to go. If it wasn't for my team, I definitely couldn't do this on my own. So I got a great backbone that's supporting me.
Man, nobody ever does anything alone. You look at what Elon Musk has done. He didn't create that rocket. He put together the team to do it. So, great leaders are always going to find people to fill their gaps. They're also going to find people to take over. And another admonition to leaders is you're not going to grow somebody if you don't let them have the reins and let them take it. I'm a helicopter pilot. I instruct people how to fly. Well, if I don't ever let that student take the controls, if I don't let them try to land that aircraft, they're never going to have the confidence to do it on their own. That's why you do a solo flight, right? So we grow people, we let them solo, we coach them back up. So it's tell you how to do it, watch you do it, take corrective action, watch you do it again. It's a constant loop of, improvement. But the other thing I was going to tell you, Marcus, is you continue to grow. And I love, first of all, none of us are ever fully baked. None of us. Because we're fallible human beings. And I know you're a person of faith, and that's just part of growing in the walk, of faith, is to understand we are fallible. We're not perfect, but you've got to help yourself grow. And I've had people say, why should I read this book? Well, I read. I'm growing right now. I'm reading this book, Fans First, and the book, the Jesse Cole. He is the owner of the Savannah Bananas baseball team. His first book is called Find Your Yellow Tux. I've never been so challenged in my life after reading Find Your Yellow Tux. And this is a 38-year-old owner of a college summer league baseball team in Savannah, where they have sold out seasons and people scalping tickets to find one of 4,000 seats to enter his venue, because he figured out that the key to success is to create raving fans of people and clients. When you have a lot of raving fans, man, you can conquer the world. So Marcus, you have a raving fan, not only in myself, but Mario, Casper, Jessica, everybody within the College Hunks system, man. Just want to tell you, the world's your oyster. Never stop growing. You're a great man, a great father. You're doing what's right by your family, and I couldn't be more proud than to
Thank you.
have been part of your process. And I'm glad that attitude went away, brother. I'm glad you came on board, because we're better because of you.
Yes, sir. Got to keep growing. You got to learn to enjoy the process. Everybody wants that finish line, but it's really the race that matters.
It is. And the way our culture is now, everybody wants instant gratification. And I think that's part of that hourly mindset. I want to get into overtime because I can make time and a half. Well, that's pretty short-sighted when the hurricane's coming in and you're going to go 2 weeks with no pay. Wow. Okay. That's how we need to grow people, and we need to keep people moving forward and wanting more in life. And the other part of it, Marcus, is believing you can achieve more. Believing you can get there, and believing that people will help you get there. Nobody ever got anywhere on their own. They had somebody helping them. So always be willing to accept mentoring. Always be willing to let somebody help you. But the biggest thing is always be willing to ask for help. Admit when you need help. Admit when you need somebody to show you something you don't know, because you can't know everything. And the other thing is, you don't know what you don't know. So everybody needs somebody in their life. I have a lot of mentors. I have a lot of great people that help me and challenge my thinking. And perfection is always something we're trying to get to, but it's honestly unachievable. So we just keep stepping forward, and hoping that someday it'll work out. You made my day. I love being at your wedding, by the way. And I was telling somebody the other day, when you and your wife went down in your bridal party, went down the aisle dancing. That's not something that you see every day, man, but I loved it. And I said, this is so much fun. They're dancing down the aisle because they're headed to this incredible party, man. It was so much fun. And I appreciate you including my family in that process. I'm glad to be part of your family. So
thank you. I'm glad you're part of it. Thank you for welcoming. I mean, it's not even you being a part of my family. You welcomed me into yours first. How could I not reciprocate the love?
Well, it's you made me a better man. That's the way it's always supposed to work. So at the end of the day, I mean, when you're talking to people that are interviewing to come into College Hunks now, are you sharing your story?
Yes, sir. I even pulled up the video that we made in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Good. Yes, look, here's the deal, folks. College Hunks Hauling Junk and Moving. We're more than a moving company. We're more than a junk hauling company. Our motto is very simple. We move the things you love and we get rid of the things you don't. But at the end of the day, it's more about building leaders like Marcus and taking young men that have had sometimes challenged lives and giving them an opportunity to grow within our system and to achieve greatness and to achieve things that they want to work with. So for parents that may be watching this video, you've got a college student or someone graduating from high school, even in high school, people looking for summer work, people looking for an opportunity to grow. I can tell you again, within our system of over 200 locations, every owner has the same attitude that I have. Our core values are more than just words on paper. They are activity of action on a daily basis. And we truly want to take young men and young women and help them develop and grow to become incredible human beings and future leaders of our country. You just met one of them. He's one of many. Marcus, thank you, man.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for the call and reaching out to me.
Yeah, buddy. Listen, you take care, and thanks for participating in Leadership 101.
Yes, sir. You do the same.